Zillow just updated its 12-month forecast, and it actually looks a whole lot better. Well, not a whole lot better, but better than it did before. I mean, it's not a huge, drastic change, but we've actually gone from the negative to the positive, which is kind of interesting news. And it definitely affects the market in a lot of ways because Zillow is that spot that everyone goes to for news. Everyone searches for homes, whether you like it or not. Zillow definitely is that spot that people look at. They read what Zillow has to say, all the data that Zillow is capturing as well too, and they definitely have an opinion about it. So when Zillow says the market's changed and it's actually looking like a better market, people definitely do listen. Now, how does it impact the Sacramento real estate market? That's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight, because Zillow's updated forecast for the most part is for the United States. Now, every single market in the United States as a whole is just different, right? So we're going to break down Sacramento's market and talk a little bit about what I'm seeing right now currently in the market, what you should expect in this time of the year in the market, what spring might hold for you. Maybe it's a better time to buy or even to sell your home. We're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. And we're also going to talk about new homes. So let's get into the show. Let's go. Okay, so Zillow, usually their forecasts are just based on the numbers they're currently getting in right now. So understand that they're pretty much off a lot of the times. In fact, earlier, what was it, April, they were saying that, their year forecast was a 1.7% decline in the United States. And now we're up, right? So just take it with a grain of salt as far as it goes. Mr. Moyer, how's it going tonight? I saw your what's it called, Instagram post about your team meeting. Nice, man. Nice. You guys are going. Like Tahoe crew in the house. Can't wait to go up there snowboarding. And Mr. Moyer, guys, Ryan is a friend of mine, great realtor. He lives up in Cameron Park area and he knows El Dorado Hills, the back of the hand. Ryan is amazing. If you're looking for someone high integrity, I love Ryan. If I wasn't a realtor and I was looking in Sacramento, he'd be one of those guys I'd call too. Love Ryan. All right. Hey, happy to have you as well too. And don't worry, we'll get into talking a little bit about West Sacramento new homes as well too. I don't, like I said, I get it. Cause I mean, I know you're in the whole West Sacramento area. So it kind of is freaky with all the new building happening. But I also tell you this, if for some reason, they anticipated, West Roseville, sorry about that. Again, apologize. West Roseville, if they had thought, if people were seeing really a huge slowdown in West Roseville, where they were thinking that, there'd be a slowdown and everything too, they would stop building. JMC has got another 6 communities they plan on building out there too. They plan on going up to Rockland. So there is a steady kind of plans to keep building and building and building. Placer One, Placer Vineyard, Placer Parkway. So at least how I look at it, these builders don't just kind of just build, hey, we're going to just build wherever. Strategically, they're pretty smart. The only thing I would say, Toll Brothers and Bigford, that could have been a little jump in the gun. But for the most part, a lot of these builders, they're all about money. They're all about and that's, a lot of people know when they go to new homes, the builders are pretty much the law and they just want to make their money and their margins. But, new homes are pretty much they're very strategic about when they're building. If they were seeing, or they were thinking that there was going to be a huge drop off, they would probably slow it down a little bit. But stop it, right? They're slowing down just a tad bit, but it's normally because 2 years ago, what we saw is that they overbuilt and they had to get rid of inventory and they just don't really want to do that. So I think they're slowing down a little bit, just a little bit, but it's only for this season. You still got great incentives, great buy downs too. So like I said, I love our area. One of the reasons why I'm here. Chris, how you doing? Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way, too. I appreciate it. There's some days where I'm out there everywhere. Today was one of those days. We had a Roseville meeting, and there's legal teams telling us about legal stuff going on in the market and everything too. And it was a great meeting, 2 hours, probably a little too long, but it was a fantastic meeting. And then after Roseville, I went into Gold River. Then after that, I went to Elk Grove, and then I went to Folsom, and then back here. So for me, you guys tuning in, some days it's a little harder to kind of jumpstart the engine at 7 o'clock. But you guys fuel me, and I appreciate you guys being here. And I know you could be other spots watching stuff, Netflix and everything too, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this program. And for me, one of the things I do, I'm always out and about, right? My team is always out and about. We're everywhere. I kid you not. Lincoln, Davis, you name it, we're basically there some way or shape or form during the course of the week, and some places even multiple times. And so for me, I gather a lot of the information on the show based on what I'm seeing at the new home communities resale communities, the conversations I'm having with a lot of people who are thinking about buying, thinking about selling. They're just not really sure like when to do it. So that's kind of where I get this. The other place I live are all these real estate websites, and I'm not taking the stuff as for like as law, like Zillow stuff and Redfin stuff, but I do take it as pieces of information that are actually out there that influence people's decisions, right? And that's one of the things about media too, and especially even this YouTube channel, YouTube, Zillow, and all that stuff too. Like it really does move the market. If Zillow says prices are going up, people start to think, okay, I saw it on Zillow. It's got to be legit. People see statistics, people see stuff on Redfin, people see all this stuff, and it really does impact their ideas, their perception of what the market's like. And for example, I had this conversation with at least 3 or 4 realtors. Each one was like, oh, no, we, our market year over year, we gained. Other realtors, no, we lost. So there's also this vagueness, right? And I know statistics, you should be right on the nose too. Even some of the top appraisers in like the entire area who speak at events and everything too, they don't factor in all the new home sales. Why? It's not their fault. It's just the new home sales don't go on the MLS. And so all of the new home stuff isn't even tracked. So a lot of the stuff that they're talking about or given information is just a segment of the market, right? It's a segment of the resale market. It's not taking in all the new home stuff. It's not taking in how many people, the new home closed, how many dropped out of contract, how many were reduced in price, how many days in the market, all that stuff too. That stuff is just not factored in unless the new home hits the MLS. A few do, but majority of them don't. And so for me, because our market is so nuts with new homes, I mean, we're building new homes like in Elk Grove, there's got to be like 10, 12 communities out there. Same in West Roseville, same in Folsom, same in West Sacramento, Lincoln, Rockland, Rancho, Vineyard. I mean, we're building so many new homes that new homes are a huge a piece of our market. I mean, I would say at least maybe half our market. I mean, looking at all the incentives, all the movement, and a lot of people who are first-time home buyers who can't do a 6.5% interest rate or can't go that way, and they hear about KHOV giving them a 4% interest rate or whatnot, they're going to the new home. So all of a sudden, the new homes are a big piece of our market. And a lot of the people who talk about statistics in our market specifically can't factor in new homes. It's hard, and it's not their fault. But a lot of people draw their stats and their market statistics and everything too from, resale stuff. And new homes are just hard to track. So we don't really know how new homes are doing. Now, for you guys, and if you guys have tuned in on this channel a lot, you're going to know this. They're not giving you those incentives because they love you. They're not doing that whole heart thing. They love you. It's not that. Incentives and broker co-ops, what they give to realtors, if those things are high, that means they're hurting. If they're not giving you incentives and not giving you buy downs, that means they're doing just fine. There's a lot of demand. And why would they give you those, right? So always kind of keep that in mind too when you go into new homes. If they're hurting, they're going to be giving you incentives, or they're going to give you their firstborn. They're going to do whatever they can. It's just the way it is. So that's the biggest way to tell in the new home market, like how the market is doing, and remember for us, a lot of people don't like new homes, but one of the things about us is the fact that our new home market, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why our resale market hasn't even gone higher in price point. Because, you're selling, let's say, for example, right now you're selling a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Roseville, right? You got to compete with West Roseville. You got to compete with Rockland. You got to compete with other areas that are building brand new homes and offering like 4%, 4 or 5% interest rates. So for me, I think the new home building in our area has kind of kept our market down even a little bit lower than it should be, because we have this added competition that markets like San Francisco, Los Angeles, all these other markets that are like very metro don't have, because they don't have land. Us in Sacramento, yeah, we got land. Placer, Sacramento County, West Sacramento, or Yolo County, El Dorado County. We got so much land that all of a sudden we're building. And we're not just building communities, we're building brand new cities. Like, what's called that one that's going out in Douglas and Rancho, brand new, Braden. And then you got Bickford. And Bickford Ranch, people are like, oh yeah, it's Bickford Ranch is a community in Lincoln. No, it is Bickford Ranch, California. So we're not only building communities, guys, we're actually building future cities. And that's the crazy part about the Sacramento area. So always take that with a grain of salt. When you see Zillow numbers, when you see any of the stuff that I'm even going to show you tonight, understand that a lot of this stuff didn't factor in new home sales. And if you know Sacramento's market, or if you don't know Sacramento's, we got new homes here. All right, let's say hi to everybody. Chris said hi to you, man. Appreciate you being here tonight. Appreciate all you guys being here. All right, Hey, Mark, and everyone in the chat. Hey, how are you doing? Wait for it. Guys, I'm excited about tonight because honestly, like Zillow, Zillow's, how can I say it? Whether you like Zillow or not, it's a good sign for them to kind of tell us a little bit about that the market is going to be better for, for 2025, end of 25 and 26. They said September 2025 to September 2026, we're actually going to see an increase in the national average. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, right. Heard it before. Now, I know, and they've got a lot of information, but like we mentioned, don't really factor in new homes too much. But here's the thing. If you're someone who's looking to basically sell your house, or you're looking for something like your home appreciation, like this is a needle mover. When people go, oh, wow, okay, Zillow was predicting in April that we are going to be national, price point for homes is going to be down 1.7. And now all of a sudden they're saying we're up. That just means to people, okay, the market is kind of picking up. Do I think it's picking up? I think the telltale sign, and for people who are buying, people who are selling, they're going to hate me for this. It's going to be spring. Spring is going to be the time that we're going to really, really know if 2026 is going to be a good year. It's just is the way it is. Now, why? For other markets, it's a little different, right? For your Bay Areas, for Los Angeles, completely different. For our market, a huge, huge segment of our market is the Bay Area people who want to come into Sacramento. Love them, hate them, whatever. That's a big segment of our market. And I always joke around. I'm like, Sacramento people don't like the Bay Area buyer unless the Bay Area buyer is buying their house for all cash and over ask. So here's how it works, right? Our market is what I call a little bit of a feeder market, right? A lot of people from the Bay Area come in, new homes, resale homes. They just love the price point here. And eventually they fall in love with the area like I did. So, for us, I always say like around March, you're going to feel it a little bit. Usually after Super Bowl, but really in March, you're going to feel if 2026 is going to be a good year or if it's not going to be a year or if it's not going to be. Now, before that happens, we're going to get a bunch of reports, economic data and everything too. And the thing that's not great, but the realism of life for people who are looking for lower rates, the worse the economic news is, jobs reports, CPI, all that stuff, the worse the economic news is out there, the lower rates will go, right? The better the news is, the worse rates will go. And, and also, like I said, now all the people who watch the show are going to hit me if I don't say this. Understand this, the Fed cutting the rate, that's not a direct one-on-one correlation with interest rates. It just isn't. If anything, you got to watch the 10-year bond market and see how that's going. And we'll go into that a little later. But for the most part, March 2026 is where I'm going to say we're going to know if it's going to be a good 2026 or it's not. I don't know. All right, what are your thoughts on Bickford? Here's the thing about Bickford Ranch, right? And I did a video about it. I'm going to drop it one of these weeks, but I like Bickford, right? I think it's nice. I think I think Tri-Point, I think Toll Brothers, and even Shea to that extent, maybe not Shea just as much, but I think Toll Brothers, I think Tri-Point built too soon. I think they should have built a little infrastructure. Bickford Marketplace is going to go in there, and I think that should have gone in first so people would know that they're shopping there, right? I think there should have been a little bit more advancements on Placer Parkway. I think that people would have been saying, oh yeah, here we go. Bickford there's a little bit of a disconnect. Is it that far from everything? Well, Verdera is, and Verdera is amazing, and people love that community, and so do I. But I think Bickford, for some reason, people get out there and they're just like, they're feeling like they're on top of a mountain that doesn't have anything. Now, one of the things that I heard straight up in Shawwood in Folsom, right? One of your hoods, Ryan. Shawwood is actually going to be building a community in Lincoln and in Roseville. So Shawwood, if you guys love those Folsom Shawwood homes, they're already going to be building one in Roseville next year. And the following year, they plan on building one in Lincoln. So I asked them straight up, and I talked to the head person in Shawwood. I'm like, all right, so what are your plans here? Are you going to build more communities? They're like, we're going to Roseville and we're going to go to Lincoln. I'm like, aha, you're going to Bickford. No, we're not doing Bickford. Like, why aren't you doing Bickford? Toll is there, so you got the price point. Everything's right up there. They're like, we're not going near those special assessments. Because as we know, one of the biggest things about the Toll Bickford Ranch right now, the special assessments are high, right? So that's one of the things that's kind of scaring off Shawwood. Do I think eventually it's going to be one of those spots that people love? I mean, yeah, absolutely. I go to Bickford, I look at the views, I look at the peace and quiet. I look at Shea, which for the most part, a lot of people who are moving to like Shea, the active community up there, they're not really too worried about commuting, right? They're worried more about where's the pool and how's that life, and they love it up there, right? But I do think that for a lot of people who are like looking at Toll Brothers, who are looking at like TriPoint, um, unless you're working at home completely, they just feel a little isolated. But again, here's the thing, and here's the other side of that coin. A lot of people probably felt they were isolated back in the day when they were moving to Folsom. Probably like, yeah, man, I'm moving out to Folsom. They're like, wow, that far out? Because Folsom was just a pile, there's just a prison and dirt. That's it out there, right? Roseville, the same way. And there were a lot of people who were like, you're going to leave like East Sacramento and you're going to Folsom. You're leaving East Sacramento and go to Roseville. And people thought they were crazy. Oh man, you're going to be driving like 15, 20 minutes to get to work. Man, I wouldn't want to be you. And now all of a sudden those areas have a very high price point and the demand of those areas is sky high. I think the Parkway, I think that's going to be huge. I think the development of West Roseville is really adding also because that's kind of on the way a little bit to Bickford as well too. Bickford Marketplace going out there, I think is great. I also think on the other side of that, because Lincoln is like, I mean, Bickford, it's its own city, yes, but it is in Lincoln, kind of that area. And Lincoln itself, I mean, back early 2000s was the fastest growing city in all the United States. So I think it was California and the United States, one of the two. But so I think with all the development that's happening in Lincoln, also Lincoln, I think Bickford is going to be due. Do I think it'll happen within the next couple of years? No. Do I think it'll happen maybe in 3 or 4 or 5 years? Yeah. And I think a lot of people who are out there right now could have those homes that are now known as like what? Like Empire. Now, maybe I'll go Briggs Ranch, American River Canyon. You know what I mean? A little further up and those really, really amazing communities. So I like it. I just think that like for people like you, Ryan, like people like me that basically live in our cars, it's just hard to think unless you're like focusing in on Bickford itself. It's not easy. Now, if it was me, now someone who maybe had to commute like 1 day a week to maybe like a Roseville or something like that, and I could just, or, you know, someone who just has to live somewhere and that was it. And the special assessments were okay. You know, I didn't mind them. I mean, you know, I'd have to check home insurance and all that stuff too. Bickford could be a spot for me. But like I said, Bickford's going to be interesting because a lot of the people who are buying now probably in 4 or 5 years will be smiling ear to ear if the development keeps going. And we all know everyone's freaked out that someone's going to pull the plug on it. But with all the special assessments Bickford is doing, I expect that area to grow really, really fast. I mean, the special assessments are crazy compared to other areas. So with that also comes, you know, a lot of people chipping in more money to kind of grow that area. Not as many houses, yes, but eventually it'll pick up steam. Now, one of the things that I think, and I, you know, love all my builders, they're great, whatever. But one thing I think Toll Brothers really, really missed the boat on, is I do think they should have included like a clubhouse, a pool, and a nice HOA kind of area in there. You know what I mean? Something that just like, you know, I think that would have been something that could have really gotten people excited. I think if you would have driven up, you would have seen these houses and then you would have seen this really nice, kind of like almost a Regency feel at Folsom, but not an active community. I think that probably would have been one of the smartest moves that they've ever made. And they didn't do that. And people are going, I'm paying all this money and we don't even get a pool or a clubhouse. I mean, look at Regency over there. So I think that hopefully Toll will be listening to this. And, you know, I think that in their future communities, and like I said, their future communities are Rancho Marietta, the one that they're building out in Rockland, which if you're a doctor and you're thinking to yourself, I love Toll Brothers, Rockland, that community right next to the 80, woo, that's perfect for you. And then the other one coming out in El Dorado Hills, the one with 1 acre lots, $1 million plus, or yeah, I think it's starting at 2 million. Sorry. That one's going as well too. So there's going to be a lot of Toll Brothers movement in our area. Toll Brothers is interesting, you know, prior to maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, they were just a little bit here and there. Serrano, a little bit, they just picked the spots. But now, I mean, they're literally doubling down on Sacramento because they see our luxury market is all of a sudden like a fledgling young, you know, nice luxury market. A lot of people go in custom homes as well too, but our market's changing. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, you're always saying affordable homes and everything too. Affordable, yeah, absolutely affordable to Los Angeles and San Francisco, but affordable to some other parts of California, not really. Is Sacramento affordable in comparison to like the majority of the United States? No, not really now. And a lot of people are like, you know, we need to work on that. I just see our prices going up. Once interest rates hit low 6s, low 5s, or in the 5s specifically, I think we're going to take off again. What do you guys think? Do you think once interest rates, if interest rates do, and I'm not going to say when it is, but if interest rates hit, let's say a 5.99, do you think it's going to jumpstart our market? What do you think, Ryan? All right. Lehman Brothers, also smart, right? Yeah. So was what was it, Warren Buffett? He bought like what? He bought all that DR Horton. I think he bought Lennar as well too. I went to Vista Oaks. It's nice, but seems like it would be pretty noisy with it being so close to the freeway. Okay, yeah. The good and the bad of Vista Oaks. One is, for doctors who are looking for something like almost kind of like the Tim Lewis community, woods and lakes out there as well too. That community, I would say, is more about location, right? It doesn't give you that Toll Brothers warm and fuzzy on the hill with views like the hidden ridges, the skylines, even the Oak Crest, right? It doesn't give you that. But it does give you that idea of like, I want to hop on the 80. I want to get to UC Davis Medical Center. I want to be somewhere where I have access to the freeway. Because what a lot of people complain about, especially now in like a Folsom, right? They're saying, oh, I love Folsom. I love Toll Brothers. But I mean, have you seen East Bidwell to get out to the freeway? That isn't fun. And they look at Hidden Ridge as well too. And they're like, that's even further up. So there is that like idea of, yeah, there is noise and it's by the freeway and everything too. The only pro, like I'm seeing for doctors, is that if you want Toll Brothers and you don't want to be buried somewhere deep into Folsom or somewhere like, El Dorado Hills right now and pay $2 million, or Bickford, like that one community in Rockland is that community gives you access. It still gives you a Toll Brothers house, which is nice. But I think that, and Toll Brothers knew exactly where they're building for this. They're marketing it specifically for people who need to get to downtown and need that access to the 80. Because if you look at Rockland, and like we're getting into a little bit about Rockland, but if you look at Rockland, there's a 65 part of Rockland, there's an 80 part of Rockland. And I've worked with a lot of doctors and a lot of nurses, and they're like, I will not go near the 65 if I have to go downtown to like UC Davis Medical Center or something down there. So this fills that need of, okay, I don't want to be on the 50 because at this point, I mean, how many of us really want to drive through the 50? I don't. I don't want to be by the 50. I want to be somewhere. I want to have Toll Brothers home, but I still need to get to work relatively quick. So this is kind of where this kind of fits in. Like I said, I look at all the Toll Brothers communities and I think they're amazing house and everything too. Folsom I thought was okay. It just didn't have the views that I wish it had. And I think, this Rockland one, it's okay, but I see it as kind of like a similar thing to Folsom Preserve, but just in Rockland. So yeah, the one I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see the Rancho Marietta one. That one I'm pretty excited to see because Rancho Marietta is a nice spot, although getting out there from Folsom's a little different. It's a little challenging. I want to see that one. I was doing floor plans they do. I want to see also those $2 million Toll Brothers homes. And I was told by my buddies up there that I would get first dibs as far as videoing them as well too. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. So I don't know. All right. I don't know, but I would say this for Toll Brothers. If the noise is too much for you, I mean, there's going to be a lot of Toll Brothers building. They've got 2 more communities opening up at Bickford. What else they have? They still have a bunch of Preserve and Folsom to build out. They have those $2 million lots in El Dorado Hills, Rancho Marietta. So they're building. And the other one too, I know that Double S was a big success with Anthem. So I know Anthem's building a lot more of that kind of, or they're thinking about building houses with bigger pieces of land as well too. And for you, I would also figure out Shawwood. Shawwood's a great one too. I mean, they're going to be building in Roseville, and it should be a really, really nice community. So, you're going to have choices. And like I said, all these people like the Shawwoods, the Toll Brothers, they're spending a lot of money on these new communities. And I've not heard anyone say that they're stopping anytime soon. So, all right. Boom. I had a chance to buy a home that's 400% more than I'd like to pay, but I can get them to buy the rate to 4.75 fixed. 400 more than I like to pay, but I can get them to buy down the rate to 4.75. I mean, here's what I always tell people too. And eventually these glasses will be what I'm wearing too. So I apologize for the squint. Yes, I'm running now, but want more space. Yeah, here's the thing for me. Okay, here's what I look at it. It's about your monthly. If you stick to the payment of the house, especially with all these buy downs and everything too, it's kind of hard to oh, gotcha. Sorry, I mean for 400 more per month. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, I thought you said 400,000. I would say right now, and this is just me, now's the time when you wheel and deal, right? I think you could probably even get lower than that. You know, I've taught every new home salesperson I've kind of talked to, and I've been filming a lot of new homes as well, as you guys probably seen. A lot of them are like, we can, make us an offer. Like, make us an offer. And so for you, I would say if that's where you have to be, or this is where you want to be, let them know. Say, I'm ready to go. This is where I need to be. If we do this, I will sign papers and let's get going on this thing. I would say one of the things that we do all the time is write offers, So I would say go for it. Get out there. And, if you're working with a realtor, have your realtor do some like negotiating. If not, go low, go low now. I mean, I think a lot of people get a little bit, when they go to the new home sales and they're like, we're giving you this buy down, walk away. You know what I mean? I mean, don't lose a home. But I'm saying like, play a little hard to get, especially if they have a lot of that floor plan available, especially if you're not that picky. Now, if you're waiting for that one house and there's 3 other people that have been waiting for it because the lot size is amazing, don't listen to what I just said. But like I said, if you're more interested in a payment as opposed to like the specific house, then I'd say right now, this is the time to wheel and deal. I know almost every builder right now is hurting, right? They want to get rid of inventory. So this is probably the time to do it. He's throwing 25K to buy down the rate to 4.75 house to 5.95. Okay, so try this then. Ask him to throw on the solar. Ask him to throw him the lot premium. Ask him to throw him an upgrade package as well too. All those type of things could help you as well too. What would I say? And also tell him, here's the thing for me. I just need my payment to be $400 lower. That's the one thing that I'm really, really kind of like focused on, and see what he does. I'm not saying lose the house. Hopefully I'm completely correct in that. But I will say though, right now, if you can negotiate like anything, you can negotiate buy downs, you can negotiate all that kind of stuff too. I would say go hard and see the best you can get. And if it's still a little higher than you want to pay, then you got a decision to make. Is it going to keep you up at 2 o'clock in the morning? Or is it something that you say to yourself, I really love the house. Okay, maybe I won't eat out one night a week and it's my house. But that's completely up to you. But I will say though, what I've been seeing for our clients is this is the time right now to negotiate. And I think, you just got to go hard. All right. Boom. I want to be in a 32 when it comes to, like I said, negotiate. And, depending on who it is too, like I know TriPoint is hurting. I know what's called. There's so many builders hurting. I'm trying to think of one that isn't. Even Shawwood, like what was it? 2 weeks ago, they're telling me, oh yeah, we couldn't get about a month ago, they're like, oh, we can't get a Hazel underneath 2 million. And then, I had a couple of people call me up from Shawwood and they're like, make us an offer. And so you can, just make us an offer. We can't tell you, so there is that negotiation power. So see what you can do. And like I said, even if you're logged in, even if you're signed in with a realtor, even if you want to talk a little bit about it, feel free to give me a call too. All right. Boom. Boy, right now, I'm not convinced rate drops will do much unless they're dramatic, like sub 5s, but who knows? I think the how can you say it? Like the impression, like if you see a 5, right? If you see a 5 associated with a rate, I think it will bring buyers back. Because this year has been, I don't care what anyone tells you, the demand has not been what we'd expect at all this year. So for me, I look at it and I say to myself, if we have something with a 5.99, I think we will get movement. Our market isn't one of those markets also. Like our market is, and I'll tell you guys about Sacramento. We got Tahoe, we got Napa, everything's close by. We have an area right now where we're building brand new schools. We're building a new surf park. We're building in a new stadium downtown. We're building another stadium in Rancho. We're building in a new infrastructure connection projects everywhere. We got what's called the new Topgolf coming in, and this is a monster Topgolf coming in North Natomas as well too, or north or south, I forget which one, but Natomas. We have so many projects coming right now that, this is an area where if you come out and take a look at Sacramento, maybe you're out here maybe 10 years ago and you're, Sacramento, This is a completely different Sacramento. I mean, how many people watching this can attest to that? I've had so many people that have grown up in Sacramento and they come back to visit. They're looking to buy a house and they're like, this is not even what we grew up with. This is just completely different. Good or bad, this is kind of what we're seeing. So Sacramento's on a huge growth spurt, even with this lulling market. So what do you think that would be like once we get a little bit more demand, get a little help with some interest rates? I mean, we're flying again. So I love our market. All right. Boom. All right. Montier, but a home in West Roseville. Yeah. West Roseville also, I like West Roseville. I think West Roseville is really, really a great spot. I mean, there's no slowdown on the building happening in West Roseville. I mean, with all the stuff happening, you got a surf park coming out there. You know, like I said, Placer Parkway. You got like electric pickleball or something that's coming out there as well too. You got new stores. You got the Whitney Ranch Retail Center that's in Rockland, but is super close by as well too. You got all that stuff that's developing like in Placer One, Placer Vineyards. West Roseville is just, I mean, the development and the growth. The thing I think about West Roseville is, and you know, this could be something also that you're seeing as well being out there, is just because it's so spread out right now, they just need to fill in the gaps a little bit. And they're doing it with the Costco, with the stores and everything too. But you know, it's an amazing spot with the amount of houses they're building, Melrose coming in, schools development, parks and everything too. Yeah, I like West Roseville a lot. All right. Boom, boom. It's a townhouse and he doesn't want to buy the rest. He didn't take 550. I offered that. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. Monty, if you want to hit me up, and like I said, you could be working with someone else and that's all good. Don't worry about it. We can hit this a little offline. I want to get a little more details on that. All right. I'm living in Boise, Idaho now. I follow you because I used to live in Santa Clara. Oh, very cool, Monty. Yeah, if you want to, hit me up. And this won't be one of those like hit me up and then hit me up. Let me know the address and let me know what you're trying to do too. I might even know the realtor. So hit me up and we'll talk a little bit about it. All right, let's get back to Zillow and then we're going to get some questions and let you guys go for the night. Man, it's been a fun one. We've been videoing some amazing houses, amazing communities. And we're doing some more deal videos as well too. Now, a deal is only a deal for someone who's looking for that specific house and they thought that they'd have to pay more for it, right? So, you know, deal is very subjective and everything too. But like I said, there's a lot of people who are waiting for these price drops, like 75,000, 90,000. You're seeing videos all the time. So what I'm basically doing at this point is I'm trying to point out some of the stuff that I'm seeing that is impressive, right? On Friday or next Friday, one of these Fridays, I have a couple Toll House cookies, Toll Brothers houses that actually have over 50-foot backyards. And they're actually really, really beautiful houses, beautiful floor plans. And in an area of Bickford that is just completely quiet, tranquil. You don't have back neighbors either. It's awesome. So I'm gonna give you guys some more deal videos. And we also filmed a house in Midtown. It was a brand new 2023 custom home it's in Midtown, which is rare because Midtown is in the heart of everything. If you like to go out, if you like restaurants, if you like to be in the thick of things, like it has kind of like a Noe Valley kind of vibe to it. Like Midtown's like where it is. Like majority of Sacramento is a suburb. Everything shuts down like Red 8 or 9 here. But in Midtown things go. There's bars, there's restaurants. It's really like a really vibrant part of the Sacramento area. And this 3,000 square foot with a pool, over 3,000 square foot, brand new house with a pool is awesome. Like for me, if I was like in my 20s or early 30s and I was kind of coming in here and I was saying to myself, like, I want to be so close to the action and have that kind of like urban vibe, it's a great home. So we're going to probably do that one as well too. So we have a bunch of videos to release for you guys as well. So stay tuned. But I'm excited. And like I said, I think what we're seeing right now, and we'll go over this Zillow thing, is Zillow's basically saying that, like, you know, latest forecast is just changing. It's saying for the most part that we're flat or we'll be flat for the next year. A little bit of a peak. I mean, you know, but for the most part, what they're saying is that it'll be a little bit of an increase. Not a big one, but at least we're not negatives, which we like. Now over here, as you can see, let me see where it is. Boom. The key takeaways: home value growth is expected to recover in 2026, which just means that they were predicting us to be in the negatives and now they're predicting us to be in the positive. This is nationwide. Home sales are forecasted at the end of the year, 4 million and 7, you know, million, 4.07 million. God, sorry about that, guys. 4.07 million, slightly above 2024, and rents should continue to cool, ending in 2025 at lower growth than in past years. Now, this is not our market. This is nationwide. Now, if we go a little further, boom, this is where it gets interesting. As far as our 12-month forecast, the outlook, was that, and now it's this. Here, hold on, I want to get to that. Okay, here's Sacramento. This is what they're predicting as far as for what we go for the next 12 months. We're still a little below. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, oh, that's horrible, but we're not making the lists of the best, the ones that they're predicting to do the highest increases right here, and we're not doing the worst. Now, what we are seeing though is Sacramento, and let's go back here for a second. If you look over here, boom, boom, where am I? Sorry about that. Don't mean to get you guys dizzy. Basically, it's an upgraded, it's better than Sacramento did what's called September to September 24 to 25. So we're actually doing better. Our market is improving a little bit. And this doesn't take into account like if interest rates are going to drop, spring market, spring rush, or anything too. So this is us kind of going a little bit in a positive direction. Now, for a lot of people, they're going to look at this and go like, well, that's a positive direction, but that's not much. It's a little bit of a bump in the right direction with rates basically staying kind of where they've been all year. So it's not too shabby of a thing. Now, as far as like good markets, are Atlantic City, Rockford, Illinois, man, crazy stuff. But as we see here, Santa Rosa is on the list. San Francisco is on the list. And these are the places that are going to actually go down as far as home prices go. And this is from Zillow, not from me. So we got probably people coming in from Sacramento. Chico doesn't look like a hot market either. It made the list. And Santa Rosa. So Sacramento's pretty much kind of like in the middle of all this, right? Sacramento is probably going to be about flat. But like I said, I mean, this doesn't take into account that if we drop into the fives or whatnot. So I still think our chances are pretty solid to do pretty well in 2026, but we're just going to have to wait till March and see what the interest rates look like. Now, let's see if we can go over here. Now here for all you stats guys is this year over year change. And this is like what I was talking about, 2.4, negative 2.4. And now we're up to, or at least they're predicting that we're going to be over here. So it's a change in the right direction. Now for my buddy Ryan Moyer is probably watching. This is pretty interesting. So we're kind of flatlining a little bit as we did year over year change as of right now, negative 2.4%. But it's expected to kind of dip in the right direction. So I'm excited for that. Like I said, I think our market right now, you're going to feel like it's the end of the world because it's, the end of the year and it's slow, it's cold. People are jumping the holiday season. For the most part, inventory level, a lot of people aren't going to list their house unless they really want to get rid of it. I had a conversation with a nice couple who had a house in Elk Grove, and we were talking a little bit. And I said, can you wait till spring? Spring's probably going to be a little bit of a better market to list. And I would also say with people who are telling you, you should list your home right now, and you have that ability to wait a little bit, I would ask them to show you comps. I would ask them to show you days of the market. I would ask them to show you historical data of things that have actually sold within the last 6 months to be a little bit of a more in tune of why you should actually list your home just before Halloween, just before the rain hits, unless you really have to. So that would just be my 2 cents. And like, if you guys disagree with that, please let me know. All right. Almost 66, originally from Sac, but 30 years in the Bay Area, worked in Marin County, Terra Linda High School, class of 89. I'm over project driving, just trying to find a semi-quiet area. You can keep the pickleball park. LOL. I know, I'm a tennis player myself, so the pickleball thing, I just have never really picked up. I think you're going to find some fun places in Sacramento. I mean, it just depends what your thing is, what's your vibe, like, you can go to some cool areas like in the Pocket that are just by the water, kind of a cute little community where you're still kind of close to downtown if you want to be. The Pocket's beautiful. It's a really nice area. If you want those like older homes that have maybe been revamped, you can go like to East Sacramento. You can go to Land Park. You can go to Tahoe Park, Hollywood Park. There's some nice houses over there too. South Land Park is cute. Also has kind of like Norman Rockwell-ish kind of vibe too. Or if you say, you know what, I don't want that. I want the high ceilings. I want something really like that. You can go up to Folsom. You can go to Rockland, Roseville, all those spots too. There are so many spots in the Sacramento area that are different. And that's one thing that I kind of learned coming in from the Bay Area as well. Sacramento isn't just a one size fits all type of place. I mean, Elk Grove is so different than El Dorado Hills. El Dorado Hills is so different from like the Pocket. These areas are very much like they're different and they're very disconnected. What I mean is a lot of people who like live in East Sacramento have no clue what's happening in El Dorado Hills. El Dorado Hills, no clue what's happening in Rockland as well too. They're just very disconnected, but very beautiful, very different. And that's why whenever, and a lot of you guys I probably worked with, you know, my big thing is education. And so for me, that's kind of why we take you guys Rockland to Folsom to wherever you want to go, right? And we suggest a few other spots because that's kind of what I found when I came into Sacramento. It's just so different here. There's so many spots that if you don't explore, if you don't go out there and just see them, you're not going to know if they're for you or not. And any realtor you work with that's relocating you in, or any realtor that's working with you in general, should take the time to show you areas and suggest a few as well too. The first tour you do should be just about areas, figuring out which one works for you. And then after that, after the tour's done, you go to those areas again at nighttime, you go to eat, you go shopping, and you figure out exactly if that's your vibe. And then if schools are a big one for you, don't only look at greatschools.org, figure out there's some community events happening there and just show up and see what the parents are like. The education piece of finding a home is one of the things that I always focus on for our clients as well too. It's just get to know it. If we have the time, or if you have the time, we have the time for it especially. And I love doing it. I love the idea that if we show you, around Sacramento, the communities, the areas, and we just focus in on that, there will never be any type of like, hey, what do you think of this house? This house should be for you. There won't be any of that. You'll just look at us one day and go, you know what? We love this area. We love this community. This is the type of house we were looking to find. Find us it. And that works. And and I really do believe that in real estate. I think a lot of realtors are kind of like, you see a house, they show you the house, they write the offer, you get the house. We work with a lot of people who've had that experience and said, I didn't want to be there. I didn't know these other areas existed, but I saw the house on Zillow. I drove up, I saw it, I bought it, and that's it. And, we weren't really shown other spots or areas or communities because it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of effort. But if you do that as a realtor, if you do that as someone who's looking and you say to your realtor, that's what I want, like you're going to get a house that you're going to stay in longer. You're going to know the areas and feel comfortable about your decision. And it's really going to be your decision, right? Granted, no matter what you buy, it's your decision. But what I mean is that you're going to say, oh, I don't like that spot. I don't like that spot. These are the 3 spots we really, really like. You know what? But this one spot out of the 3 is the best price point for us. The walkability, we like this, we like that, all that stuff about it. And it's really going to be you. So I would say for anyone out there who's looking, have fun. This is going to be your home. This is going to be the place you're going to live. This is the place you're going to be watching TV, celebrating the holidays, inviting friends over. This shouldn't be as stressful as it is. This should be a fun experience. Take the time, don't rush it. Of course, some people do because of the job move or they have to make the move. But if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be moving next spring, come out a few times during the holiday season. See what the weather's like out here. See when the rain's happening. See how close Tahoe really is. All those things. Figure it out. Get excited about your move and get educated about it. It's the biggest piece of the puzzle. And this is why a lot of times, like, the people we work with, they're in their homes for like 7, 8, 10 years. They're just loving their homes because we've taken the time additionally to just show them everything. And so eventually they figure out where they should be. Because for me, that's what I wish would have happened to me before I was a realtor when I first moved here. I didn't know that. And I didn't realize there were areas like the Pocket, like Newcastle, like Placerville, like all these areas that are amazing. And I know now, but when I first moved here, I just didn't realize these even existed. So take the time and figure it out. Now, if you guys are having a good live session, if this is a good show for you this evening, please smash that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. Also share the video with a friend or anyone that you think, because this is the type of information that I really want to get out to people. I really want people to understand the idea that they have a forum that they can come and ask their questions. They have a forum that other people from Sacramento or people who are looking to move into Sacramento will actually actively ask questions, answer questions even. This is a forum just about basically people who want to learn about Sacramento, who know Sacramento, who have some pros and cons, and are just giving you a little bit of their feedback about the area. And as much as I'm here live telling you exactly what I'm seeing in the market too, you guys also who live in Sacramento, who eat, breathe, live, who probably lived here longer, some of you than I have, you guys can give your opinions on this. You can say, you know what, Mark, I get you like the pocket, but this is something I don't like about it. Like, this is the stuff that's going to be invaluable to other people who are thinking about moving into the area. And hopefully you guys do that. All right. Been doing a little research on the greater Sac market over the past 4 years. I'm narrowing down my target to West Sac. Ooh, I like West Sacramento and Rancho Cordova. Thoughts? Man, okay. First off, why those two areas? Pros and cons on both. First of all, like West Sacramento is so close to downtown. It has such a kind of there's two parts of the West Sacramento. There's like the farmy-ish kind of area, you know, and then there's like the kind of almost like 3-story townhouses, the kind of like really everyone's walking, everyone's jogging, everyone's biking and everything too. I think West Sacramento is awesome. You also got the Delta breezes, which is really nice during summer. In West Sacramento, one of the things also is it's one of the rare spots in the Sacramento in general where you see 3-story like houses, right? You see the roof decks. Those are for me, I love that. I grew up in Marin, but I spent a lot of time in San Francisco where I had a roof deck and I watched the Blue Angels and everything up there. But for me, oh yeah, West Sacramento, those roof decks, the views, Delta breezes, I really do like West Sacramento. The only thing about West Sacramento that I did notice out there is the fact that a lot of the homes that they build out there don't really have a big backyard. So if you're someone who kind of needs to be close to downtown, and we've moved a lot of people into the West Sacramento area, they love it. I mean, West Sacramento is really a nice spot. I think for the price point too, and all the communities are moving out there. They're building out there. The river, I forget what that whole community is. Beezer's out there right now building too. It's nice. I think it's undervalued. And a lot of people don't look at it because on the searches, they're doing Sacramento County, Placer County, El Dorado Hills, and they're forgetting West Sacramento is in Yolo County. So I like West Sacramento. I think it's really nice. Rodrigo, don't go to Rancho. For Rancho, here's the thing for me. I will tell you this. Rancho, for me, and please, if you guys disagree, bring it on, is the best bang for your buck in the entire Sacramento area. And this isn't me telling you this is my opinion. This is me as a realtor saying that I've seen houses, and for the incentives that I'm seeing in Rancho, no one touches them. For the homes you can get in Rancho for the price point, I'm not seeing any other area do that, right? I'm seeing also in the resale market, majority of the homes are new, and especially the Anatolia kind of area as well too. So for me, I think Rancho is great. If you're looking for like a larger house, if you want to be close to things like the Braden project coming up, the connector is going to be running through there eventually. I don't know when it's going to be complete, but it is connecting Elk Grove to Folsom. And also Folsom, between Folsom and Elk Grove, or Folsom and Rancho, you're going to see those schools pop up as well too. Rancho's got the Barrel District as well too. There's a lot of fun things to do. So I like the Rancho area. I think if you go out there, you know, you're going to see a lot of parks, suburban vibe and everything too. Completely different than West Sac. I think Rancho, especially if you're talking about that Anatolia type of area, I think it's suburban. I think you can go for walks. You can play in the park with your kids. I think that elementary school there is really cute as well too. The negative of that area specifically is that you are in Elk Grove Unified School District, so you do have to bus it in for middle and for high school. But I think that area is growing. I think West Sacramento, less builders, probably that's going to be a benefit to you in the long run. I think in Rancho, there's so many builders. Taylor's going out there. K-Hob's doing more building out there too. So on one hand, you can get yourself a really good deal in Rancho. Like I said, best bang for your buck, but you got to stay in that home. Now, one of the things I've been running into with a lot of people, especially moving into areas, brand new homes, guys, something to be really considering when you're buying a new home, right? Those new homes and those people building, like let's take West Roseville, let's take Rancho, let's take any of those areas. If you buy a home like in your West Roseville or in your Rancho, when you go to sell it, let's say it's in 2 years, 3 years, you're going to be competing against all the new home developments that are still building out there too. They're offering great incentives and everything too. And so one of the things that I've been seeing is that a lot of the resale homes that are maybe 2 years old, 3 years home are like going dirt cheap. They're sitting because, it's like, okay, do I get a resale home that's like $20,000 cheaper than a new home, but I got it 6.5%, or do I go over and buy a brand new one, get a 4.5% interest rate, and it's brand new home, everything's under warranty. Yeah, I got landscaped the backyard. So when you guys are looking at buying new homes, just understand that if you plan on buying the new home and then maybe selling it in 2 or 3 years, and you're buying it in a community or an area that there's a lot of building and future building is planned, just keep that in mind. All right. Doom. Boom. What about flood insurance in West? No, FEMA didn't designate it that you need flood insurance. The only flood insurance area designated by FEMA was like was Natomas. And that was based on what I read. It was aqueduct technology, but West Sacramento, I haven't heard of many people needing flood there. Like I said, some people probably do if they're like living right on the water, but no, Javier Ortiz, Beach and O'Neill clarified for me a long time ago, West Sacramento, you should be good to go. So both those areas are nice. They're different though. And again, it goes back to what I tell you guys about Sacramento. It's just such a different vibe, these different areas. If I was, someone who wanted to be downtown, I wanted to go to Kitchen, I wanted to go to Ella's, I wanted to have that kind of downtown vibe, but also have the distance, but I didn't want to have to deal with the 50. Oh man, West Sacramento is great. I'd go see the River Cats. I'd go see the A's while they're in town. I'd enjoy all the stuff that's happening at the rail yards project once it's built. Oof, West Sac would be great. Rancho, if I wanted those weekend soccer games with the kids, I wanted that suburban vibe. I wanted that whole thing. Like Rancho, that area of Antolia is kind of like that too. They're hard. They're both amazing spots, but they're different vibes completely. All right. Yeah, 3-story home. Yeah, gotta talk. Yes, a 3-story townhome with the rooftops are amazing. Yeah, I did a video of one. It was the house is so beautiful. There's like a hot tub, or they were going to be putting in a hot tub on the roof. It's not something you see in Sacramento a lot. I mean, 3-story, and not like like a little tiny 3-story. This was like high ceilings in the area. There was a bedroom down below, but it was like good and nice and spacious. Then there was like office space upstairs. A staircase. It was like the room was like high ceiling. So nice, beautiful houses in West Sacramento. For me, like I said, I think 2 different vibes, but it just depends on what you want. I think both areas have their pros and cons for sure. It's just going to be about what your life is about now and what kind of lifestyle you're looking for, not only today, but also in the future. Because again, that's one of the things a lot of people don't figure out. Because if you're going to be staying in this house, let's say for like 3, 6, 10 years, whatever, think about what stage of your life you're going to be in, and then just apply that to wherever you're thinking about moving into. All right. Boom. Are your fellow agents finally coming to the grips that the market is soft? I know, they're funny. They've been saying it's just gully all year, trying to accept reality, convince sellers to drop prices. They're still hanging on. They're clinging to it. A lot of realtors, you got to understand, there's no there's no paycheck every 2 weeks. So a lot of people are kind of like, it's going to get better. A lot of realtors are leaving the industry as well too. A lot of people are leaving. It's just, it's just a slow market. It's just soft. And like I said, for me, and you guys have hopefully been watching what I've been saying, I was basically saying that we would kind of be at this interest rate for a while, like around the 6.5-ish, which we're kind of close around there too. I also was saying the fact that I think we will have a kind of a flat market, which is kind of where we're at right now too. So for me, it kind of was what I thought it would be. The only big bump that that I was thinking could be possible is if interest rates dropped a little lower. But I don't think, unless this goes down to like maybe a 6.1 or maybe even lower than that, we'll be bumping. But for me, I think it's just a slow market. It's a little soft right now too. I think sellers, if you're selling and you have to sell, I think you got to do aggressive pricing. I would say though, the weirdest part too about this market though is the luxury market. The luxury market in certain areas isn't really hurting that much. We have a luxury home right now, a gorgeous luxury home. If you guys haven't seen the video with the Ray-Bans, watch it. That home, we've already had a bunch of people looking at it, touring it, everything too, which is bizarre. But the luxury market is doing okay in certain spots as well too. But for this market that we're in right now, I'd say it's soft. I think generally speaking, it's going to be a cold market. Probably going to be a cold winter unless some kind of black swan event happens. But seasonally, this is kind of what it is. I mean, a lot of people don't want to sell their homes or put their homes on the market during like, Thanksgiving or the winter season, everything too. Everyone wants to kind of like, nest a little, as you will, bring family in, hang out. And if someone's not pushed to sell, they're not really probably going to sell their home until spring. And if they go spring, they'll go aggressive. Hopefully they'll try to engage that Bay Area market that we have as well too, and go. And for me, that's kind of what I would say. And that was a conversation I had also. I was like, if you don't have to sell, and they were, a lot of people are sitting on 2.75s and they're thinking about selling. I mean, one of the things about real estate in general that I've seen is you really do only get one chance for a first impression. I would say to you guys, what you're seeing a lot in this market is people going from one realtor 6 months, which I think 6 months is a little too long for a listing agreement, just my own self. But then you see them go to another one and another one and another one. You only get that one initial throwing it on the market, right? You could pass it to another agent. It's fine and everything too. Switch the pictures, change the descriptions. I mean, we've done that ourselves too. But it's so important for who you go with on the first go around for your house. Oh, it is so vital that you go for someone that, you feel comfortable with, can market, knows the Bay Area market. For me, if I was looking to sell my house, there's just no way I'd ever go with a neighborhood specialist. That just would not work for me. It would be just someone who just kind of had a good connection to the Bay Area and just was that would just be me. But yeah, I would say right now, I'd say a lot of realtors are still clinging to the fact, and some realtors are doing okay, but it's just a colder market. It is. I mean, spring, the demand was low. Summer demand was low. Interest rates haven't really done too much of a deviation since like 3 months. I mean, it just is what it is. And now we're getting into the winter season, fall winter season, which is normally slow. So this is what it is. And I think what you're noticing is a lot of realtors are booking their trips to Cabo and they're gone for the winter and fall. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And for you guys out there who are looking to list your homes, just strategically figure out when the right time should be. Make sure that you're interviewing listing agents and just understand that like you need someone who is consistently with you during this entire process and isn't doing the 2 week and then I'm gone shuffle. You just need to really, really figure out who you're working with as well too. This is the main thing that I'm seeing people are screwing up on. So that's it. I'm out. All right, hold on. Let me see. We got a lot of questions here. Okay, hold on. Video guy Matt. All right. What about flood insurance in West Sacramento? Oh, we hit that one. All right. I'm pending in Rosemont at the moment. Congratulations. Okay. Seller, $15,000 credit. Okay. Rosemont. Ooh, I love Rosemont. No HOAs, no Mellorews, close to Sacramento State. So if you ever want to move out or rent, you're good to go. Close access to downtown. Rosemont, College Glen area. There are some realtors out there and some lenders who make a lot of money, right? And they could live like Grand Bay or Folsom. They love the neighborhood. They love College Glen. Really, they love College Glen. They love Rosemont. And I know a lot of people who keep their entire investment portfolios in those areas as well too. So congratulations. All right. Boom. Mark, important question. Is there a contingency on my apologies. Is a contingency on my home sale while actively looking at turnoff? My realtor said this contingency done more often than I think. Okay, so here in this market, not so much, right? In a market, okay, let me put it this way. If you're looking for that unicorn house, if you're looking for that house everyone else is looking for, yeah, it's not gonna be great. It just kind of is the way it is, right? But if you're looking for something and you're seeing houses that you like that have been on the market for maybe 21 days, 30 days, 45 days, and those are the ones you're liking, you should be fine. Okay. I'd say the other way you could have rolled it is that a lot of people are like, you just maybe, if you're finding a lot of stuff that you like, you do maybe a 30-day rent back, you stay in your home, or you put that deal on your sale of your house as a contingent on you finding a new home as well too, depending on which market it is. But in this market right now, unless you're looking for, Folsom, 3-bedroom with a pool under $900,000, unless you're looking for something like that, you should be okay. And you're going to gauge it. I mean, are you seeing a house that you like constantly, or is it one of those things where you're waiting like 2 or 3 weeks? Because if you're waiting 2 or 3 weeks just to see that one house that you're liking and it's going quick, then yeah, the contingency is not going to help you. But if you're putting offers in on houses that are maybe like 14, 15, no, probably 21 days and over, I think you'll be in good shape. A lot of the houses you're seeing right now, the ones that had the 2.75s and a lot of the ones that don't have to sell have already been pulled off the market, or their realtors aren't really that good, but they're being pulled off the market. The ones that are on the market right now are people want to get rid of those houses. And if you find a house, number one, that people want to sell, and number two, that's been on the market for a relatively decent amount of time, I mean, yeah, they're going to be itching to get an offer no matter what that looks like. So yeah, I think it'd be fine. Boom. And I'm sending you positive energy. We Marin folk, we need to stick together. So good luck. All right. If I was a seller, the last thing, if I was a seller, the last thing I would want to do right now is go on the market is go on the market in spring when every other seller lists. Okay, so let me ask you this: when would you go on the market? Because you yourself have said that everything's sitting, everything's going under, everything's like sitting and everything too. So when would you go? If you were someone who's basically needed that one shot to go, I would say this, and this is just me. And by the way, I love your comments, by the way. They really get me going as far as like good avenues of talking. Now, here's how I look at it. Spring, you're right. There's going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of activity, a lot of that stuff going on too. But I do think based on the entire year for us in Sacramento with the funnel coming in from the Bay Area, I think spring is your best shot. Now, yeah, there could be a ton of competition coming your way, but your realtor also is going to know strategically when to list your home, i.e., is there anything near us? Did something just sell? What was that price point? How's our house compared to it? Let's wait till that one goes live and then we go $10,000 below list. There are strategic ways to kind of list a home as well too. But I do think that if you look at our year in general, unless you've got that unicorn house, and like I said, unless you got that fulsome house that you want to just go all year long, which you probably can, spring is a great time in our market because people in the Bay Area want to make sure that they got the house, the move's in play, they can go on their last vacation, and the kids can get into schools, enrolled in schools, which happens normally around the May, June time, get them all set, and then all of a sudden they're in the school. So I don't know. For me, I get what you're saying as far as like there's going to be a lot of people putting their homes on spring. But I'd say for anyone looking to list, that's a great time, especially if you got like a pool too. Man, that's a great time to list a home. For me, I like it. Now, the other thing too about spring is because in our market, you're going to see a lot of people competing with the new homes, right? Springtime, usually new homes don't really have that great of incentives. Their biggest incentives are always like October, November, December, January, and February when it's really, really cold. They want to get rid of extra inventory. But if you've noticed with new homes, unless the market's horrible and, just slow, a lot of their incentives aren't in spring because they also know that we get an influx of buyers coming in too. So for me, it's not the perfect scenario. And like I said, you're not going to be the only one with a house on the market. But if it's me, it's spring, it's videos, it's photos, it's go. Because I do think that that's a great pocket of time between like maybe March and May, that whole spot. And then you find a nice weekend that no one's listing a home near you. You've already gone to a couple open houses. You've already seen a couple price points. And maybe even if you see a house that's match perfect, they list and you go $10,000 under and your house is better. Woof. There's some fun strategies you can employ that you can apply in listing. Okay. Boom. There's zero reason to think things will improve for sellers between now and spring. No, okay. So let's say straight up, let's say it's same rate, same demand, same everything. I still would say spring is the best shot. I mean, I'm not listing it right. If I had a 2.75, let's say, and I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna leave to Boise. I'm leaving to Boise. I'm selling my home, and I don't really need to sell my home. I got a 2.75 and I'm thinking about selling my home, but I kind of want to get out there sometime next year or, between now and next year. Springtime is when I would list either way. I mean, even if the market is the exact same, you still have a better shot in spring than you probably have in like winter. Unless, of course, you have that unicorn house, you know, the house that if you throw it on the market, you get multiple offers whenever. And there are houses like that. But again, you need a good listing agent to tell you that, because if you go during winter time and you have this agent who's just blown smoke trying to get a sale before the end of the year, and you list, and then they're like, we're going to list and we're going to pull it off, it's still going to be traces on the MLS. People always look at the history of the stuff too. So just keep that in mind. All right. Sellers will only drop prices if they're in a pinch and really need to sell fast. Yeah, Ben, I totally agree with you. And I do think, though, what we're noticing right now are those kind of like need to sell in a pinch type of sellers are the ones whose houses are currently probably on the market, majority of them. Now, there's also going to be a subset of houses that I think list just because, you know, the realtor's like, oh no, your house is amazing, it'll go. It's not like these other houses that have been sitting. Yours is that one that'll go. But for the most part, I agree with you. I think a lot of the houses right now, they're for sale. They're the ones that are saying, I just got to get rid of this house. Let's make a deal. Let's go. And I've been seeing a lot of people that have been getting into contract get deals, like the one we just mentioned here in Rosemont. Same kind of deal. All right. Do you have recommendations for mortgage lenders in SAC that work with VA buyers? Absolutely. If you want to, hit me offline. I have 3 amazing lenders that are Aaron Klaus. You've seen him on the show a bunch of times. He's a vet himself. Awesome guy. Love Aaron. And he is like he works hard for his clients straight up. Got Matt Barba as well too. And Matt Barba is he's so good about his like being able to put people in the right deals as well too. And we got Noel as well too. So I got a bunch of lenders. If you want to, my number is on the banner. Just text me and say, hey, saw you on YouTube. Do you have some lender recommendations? I'll send them over to you tonight or tomorrow morning. All right. Boom. Let's get into some more questions and then we're going. All right. So as we saw, now here's one thing that I want. Hopefully you guys understand this from this program as well too. And if you're enjoying this program, smash that like button. Okay. So a lot of people are always critical. They're like, oh, you know, Jerome Powell, he's going to say something and mortgage rates are going to, you know, come down. This is where you kind of look to see how the rates are doing. This is very much tied into your, to mortgage rates, how many people are like buying bonds and whatnot. So you saw the bond market tick up, and let's guess what rates did as well too. So this, I would say, you know, I know everyone wants to see Jerome Powell come out and make a big statement and everything too, but normally what you'll see is the bond market's going to react prior to an announcement in their anticipation of what he's going to say. And then it's going to react. So if you want to see how rates are doing or if they're going up or anything down, I would say look here more than probably if the Fed's going to hit the rate or any of that stuff. This is probably where you're going to be looking. And as we saw, rates, like I said, it's up a little bit. Now, doesn't mean that you can get this rate. This isn't that. This is more just about where it's trending. And as we see, it's trending up right now too. So just keep that in mind. And like I said on this channel, hopefully you guys understand the one thing, our one slogan on this channel: time your life, don't time the market. And, you know, just apply that. Because for me, I think we treat it a lot like this, and I'm sure this doesn't help. But back in the day, you know, my parents bought a house because they found a cute community. They wanted us to have a place where we could ride our bikes and go to a nice school and all that stuff too. And that really, really matters. So understand also, you don't want to also, you know, of course, make a mistake because your house is your money. But at the same time, also keep in mind that it's hard to quantify how much quality of life is, especially for the house. Like for me, I bought a house, I bought my last house here in Gold River, and I paid over list for my house. And this was 4 years ago, right? And should I pay that much? Maybe not, you know, but the summers I spent with my daughter in the pool, the barbecues I've had, our mini Greek festivals we've had in the backyard, like I can't put money on that, you know, and, you know, the area, the community and everything too. So I would say also, as much as you want to look at like making sure you don't make a mistake, also look at areas that just are your jam, are your areas that you love, and houses that can improve your quality of life. I think quality of life is something we just forget about. We think so much about the deal and the rate, which are huge and which are really, really important. But at the same time, you know, I think the quality of life is something we forget a little bit about, and I'm off my soapbox. All right, so here we go. This is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at basically our inventory levels steady, 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 steady. So that basically means what we're seeing right now is what the inventory you're seeing right now is probably going to be staying on the market for a little bit. We're in our slow season, guys, and the inventory that's probably on the market is it probably the inventory that, you know, people are wanting to make deals on. Not a guarantee, but I'm saying if a house has been there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they haven't pulled it off and they're not having their plan to list it in the spring, they could be ripe for the picking. All right, here we go. What do we got here? We got days on the market. And as we get into the slowest time of the year, of course, days of the market increases. Just this time of the year as well. All right, video guy. All right. Anyone buying today should think 5 years from now, is my job 100% safe from AI? Honestly, I was like laughing about this too, because we had this legal the lawyers were talking about all this legality of like AI, and I'm like, the thing about AI is just the pace of AI, right? I mean, like you say, 5 years from now, I'm looking at the advancements of AI, you know, and I'm just going, set 5 years, try like 5 months, try like a year. I mean, the progress that AI is making, I mean, even just like Google, you know, it's just crazy. I couldn't even imagine, and I'm not saying bad or good or indifferent, whatever. I couldn't imagine if someone like Steve Jobs was still around with AI and the direction they would have taken it as well too. AI is yeah. I mean, 5 years from now, this could be AI Mark giving the Sacramento real estate update, and not even be me, just have someone who just rips out all my videos and does this. So I don't know. AI is an interesting one. You know, I think it's the cutting edge. I think it's what everything's all about right now too. But I think deep down we all kind of realize that it's something that we might not want, but we kind of need at this point. I don't know. For me, AI doesn't really do it for me. I understand how amazing it is, and there's some things on it that are just crazy amazing. But for me, I think it scares me more than I like it. And like I said, realtors are horrific when it comes to AI or any tool that'll make their life a little bit easier and that they could like ramp it up. And so AI, what you're going to see too, and this is the scary part of like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I can tell you this, probably within about like 5 months, 6 months to a year, there's going to be an app that's going to be able to create all these AI videos, and Instagram is going to be just flooded with them. There's going to be people doing tours of houses that don't even exist. They're just going to be AI avatars that are created with AI doing that. And they're probably already doing it right now too. But yeah, AI is one of those things that we're not going to have to wait 5 years. It's just that much. The layoffs are already starting. 30K layoffs at Amazon leaked this week. You're right on the pace. Everyone thinking they're safe 5 years from now hasn't been paying attention. Yeah. And that's kind of what I mean. It's like, how can I say it? Like, it just is like, I guess the thing for me is I just don't know how long we have. And that's the scary part. You know, you think, like you mentioned, like 5 years, by 5 years, man. Oh, with AI, it's so funny. Real estate landscape, I say to you guys all the time, like in 5 years, West Roseville is going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. With AI, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to be nuts. Like, it's just really, really going to, AI is just going to affect us, I think, more than we know. But yeah, okay. This is about Sacramento real estate. I got beta access to Sora 2, Liz video gen. You can create your exact likeness and your voice today. 10-second clips only for now. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Scary stuff. Printer will go burr. And assets will continue to appreciate. Those at risk are simple task jobs. Yeah, for now. I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, it was funny back in the day, and I'll go with a little history for me before. Like, I was in tech a long time ago. Then all of a sudden, like, you know, a .com era, and then start outsourcing like programming jobs. And as me networking, I was doing network security and everything. I'm a network guy. There's no way they can outsource me. They outsourced me. And then what was it, like 6 years ago? If you told me, you know, just about the stuff that we're doing right now, the AI stuff, and I see all this AI stuff. I saw Google Nano Bananas, crazy stuff, absolutely just blows me away to a whole nother level. I don't know what job is safe. You are right, probably like, some of the like, landscaping, contracting, all that kind of stuff. I mean, those, yeah, that's, sky high. But at the same time, eventually, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in that industry as well, too. All right, let's get into some Q&A. Let's get into some fun stuff. Right now, guys, we're in an industry, we're in a time where AI isn't everywhere. It's a lot of places, but not everywhere. So let's enjoy it. How do you feel Sacramento's growth over the next 5 years? It's funny seeing people say it's booming when houses around me in Natomas Park are slashing, asking by 50K, and taking offers at 60K under list price. When I moved here 2 years ago, there was almost no inventory in my area, and anything that came up was gone in a couple weeks above ask. Now we have a ton of inventory and it's sitting. Yep. Inventory is sitting right now too. Natomas got a little soft as well. Like I said, though, for me, I think right now what we're seeing is a lot of the people who are buying, like BlackRock and everything too, they're buying like mass houses. They stopped. I think, Open Door as well too. I think that hurt our market as well too. And I just think for the most part that there are a lot of things kind of sitting right now. And because we, the Sacramento area and Natomas being one of those spots, there's a lot of tract homes. Like it's just noticeably how many of the same floor plans are sitting. And it really is like that. Hopefully interest rates dropping might help it a little bit, but it is definitely a scary, little bit of scary time. All right. 80% of the homes are owned by those with simple task jobs that include almost every simple, knowledgeable worker who uses a computer. Yeah, it's going to just be crazy. I mean, the future, I don't know. All right. I'm so worried about the new homes being built. I'm worried that some areas might become a ghost town. For me, I'd say this. I'd be worried if builders stopped building. That's when I would be worried. That would be my big thing. And I'm not even saying that as a realtor. I'm just saying that as anything. Like I noticed certain communities and Mountain House and everything too, they just stopped building in the areas. We're still building. JMC's got another 6 to 9 communities coming out. I know what's called Taylor's going to Rancho. There's so much new building planned. Infrastructure is being laid as well too. So I wouldn't be too worried about this at this point. But if we ever get into that type of situation where all of a sudden I'm hearing builders are stopping to build and they're holding off for a little bit, believe me, I'll let you know right away. San Antonio, Texas, live in Lincoln now. Texas may have cheaper houses, but the property tax and lack of well-paying jobs offsets the gains. And the weather is much worse. Yeah, I'm with you, honestly. San Antonio, flown in there a few times, not a big fan. Humidity, yeah, no, thank you. I'll take Sacramento any day of the week. All right, Sacramento's hottest deals next year will be worth clears. I gotta say, right now, they're having a hard time getting rid of this stuff. Could it go lower? Possibly. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think we're into the cold season. Unless rates dip, unless crazy incentives happen, I think you could see more slashing of prices and everything too in our market. But like I said, I'm optimistic about spring. All right, worth it. KB Esquire community. How reliable would you consider KB in terms of build quality and longevity? Looking at Cambridge and Roseville. I'm not familiar with Cambridge, but I will tell you one thing. I got one of the cleanest handoffs I've ever gotten in new homes. We're talking like Toll Brothers. We're talking like Taylor. We're talking to everybody at KB in Elk Grove. There were 2 superintendents, and the only thing I found wrong in the entire house was one board on the fence that they fixed, I think, within 24 hours. So I think it just matters who the superintendent is. I would say also talking to the people who move into the area. The other thing too about a builder specifically is I would say that, you just want to have that confidence that they're going to be there if anything goes wrong with the house. And I don't mean like goes wrong, like the ceiling collapses. You're going to get a brand new home, but there's always going to be issues with it, no matter who it is, Taylor, Toll, whatever. The main thing is that they're very good about fixing it and they're attentive and they take care of business. And how you know that is by asking the people who live in the community as well too. Reviews are crucial as well, but I would also run into people in the community, knock on some doors, see who's out there going for walks and talk to them about their experience with the community. How are they? When you moved into the home, you had issues. Were they good about fixing everything? And then I would talk to the superintendent. I would interview them. I'd look at their background, see what they've been up to. And then also look at a couple of the quick move-in homes. Go through those yourself. Go to the homes that are just about ready to get someone's keys, and they'll let you do it. Say, can I go see a couple houses that are being ready to be handed off to clients that have already purchased them? They should let you in unless they're, of course, hiding something. And then just go through those homes, fine tooth comb, and just say, okay. And you be the judge of it. All right. Boom. As a federal government prints more dollars, our home values will continue to rise. The dollar will continue to buy less and less. Holding assets are key. You know, I'm telling you, as a realtor, it's funny because I'm always out there looking at houses, right? Always new home communities and everything too. And don't think that I'm not tempted on looking at some of these houses and buying them. I'm looking at them, go, oh, this is great. Look at this, buy down. But I agree with you. Right now, I'm sitting on a nice interest rate. I love my house. And I'm not gonna be that guy who's going to Costco when they're hungry. I don't need. Like, I think holding on to your assets is great. And if anyone's ever called me and we've talked about listing your home, my first thing is, do you want to sell your home? Are you sure you want to sell your home? I think assets are key. I think if there's a way to get around like and not sell your home and rent it, if you can, I'd say go for it. Totally with you. All right. I did a Ray-Ban Meta house video for our $4 million listing, which is so gorgeous, or 3.85. Absolutely gorgeous. If you guys haven't checked it out, we brought in a Lamborghini for the video. We filmed. I mean, it took us like 3 days to film that thing. If you guys have not seen it, I want to get your feedback because one of the things I love to do is I love being creative with our listing videos. I love to showcase the house, the lifestyle, and it's just, how do you say it? It's like it costs us money for the production crew, for the team, for the marketing budget, because we do blast the videos everywhere too. That's kind of what I mean. A lot of listing agents that I know who do luxury listings, they don't spend too much money as far as like staging, as far as like presentation or anything too. I mean, we do stuff that's just nuts that I haven't seen any team do. We do the videos. I mean, we brought in a Lamborghini. We had like 3 days of filming on all on our dime. Then we create stuff like this. You know, see, look at this. Brochures. Can't probably see them. All gloss and everything too. I mean, this is the stuff that sells houses, you know? And maybe that your house isn't the luxury listing, but at the same time, like we have a house right now in Antelope. It is the greatest deal for any house I've seen in Antelope. And we went in there, videoed it as well too, and promoted it and marketed it as well too. In fact, me talking to the owner and probably be doing another couple reels of that house as well too. So like I said, not all realtors are created equal. All right. Wow, big audience. I remember coming here when I was the only guy. Big props, Mark. Hey, Akeem the Dream. Thanks, man. Yeah, you know, we're having fun here, talking a little real estate and everything too. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friend. All right, we're getting to a couple more questions, then we're gone for the night. All right, what kind of real estate videos and what kind of videos you guys want me to do on Friday? Some of them are fun videos. I love showcasing houses and new homes, but I also kind of want to jump in a little bit more about the community area videos. I've been noticing that the videos that I did maybe 5 years ago just don't really cut it for what I'm seeing now. So I want to do a little bit more like of a, you know, West Roseville, then a Roseville, then a Rockland, then this and that. So I want to do those type of videos coming up. But if you guys have any suggestions of videos that you guys want to see on this channel, like I said, I'm always driving, always at these communities, always at these cities, suburbs, everywhere. So if you guys want to see something specific, let me know. One video that's a little bit of a passion project, I want to go with a gentleman that I met at Ella's who watches the channel, and I want to do a video for food, for some of the spots that you guys can eat in Sacramento. I want to do some of those type of videos as well too. But if there's anything specifically you want to see on this channel, let me know. It'll really, really motivate me because I really want to make sure that you guys are getting, you know, good content from me. And if you're someone who lives in Sacramento, it shows Sacramento to be an amazing spot. If you're someone who doesn't know Sacramento, after you watch the video, you feel like you know Sacramento a little bit better. So there we go. Market updates will help us attack the work, make money. It's always easy to research a neighborhood per ask the neighbor. Market update is gold information. All right, I'm gonna keep with these things too. And like I said, our market right now, it's cold. I'd say as far as the houses you're seeing on the market, a lot of them are retreads. A lot of the houses you're going to see kind of recycled. I'd say right now, some of the houses on the market, unless it just was listed, they got to sell it. Normally, I mean, like I said, work with a realtor that's going to find that out for you. But what I'm seeing more than not is that if you list during the winter time and you've been keeping your house on for like 30 to 40 days, you've got carrying costs and everything too. And I see that, 9 out of 10 times, those are people who really, really, really want to get rid of their homes. Or they would pull off the market and relist in spring. All right. Who wants another Ray-Ban Meditator? Yes, for Mountain Gate and Lincoln. All right, I gotcha. I felt it was I felt it was a bit less engaging listening to monotone AI voice give a bland AI descriptions versus just having you speak directly about what you're seeing. Okay, I like it. Well, like I said, I love these videos I bring you guys, so I'm gonna do some more fun stuff in the future, I promise. All right, boom. Another question. All right. All the houses I would enjoy owning have HOA restrictions. Are HOA terms negotiable as not to give up basic expression and speech rights, i.e. flag permits, Christmas lights, etc.? I would say this. One is you got to get on the board and have a vote. I'd say some of that stuff too, if you get people involved, like, okay, for example, in Gold River, okay, there was this rule about, and this is crazy, about driveways being a certain height, right? And if it was, the roots went underneath and your sidewalk was chipped or whatever, you had to replace the entire driveway. Sorry. And every single tenant did not want to do that because, it was like tiny little, and you'd have to replace the entire driveway, which costs like, 15 grand. And so everyone went in there, voted, and basically it got overturned and the rule got changed. So I think for some of these rules, I think for like flags for this and everything too, there's going to be general guidelines, but there's also rules that you can put in effect that I've seen. Now, for anyone buying in an HOA community, there are these rules that are available for you to look at as well too. So before you purchase in an HOA community, make sure that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, it really, really could come back and bite you, especially if you're someone who moves to an area and you figure out there's no street parking or an area where you really want a flag and you need to paint the flag post the same colors as the house and you don't want to do that. There's just certain things you just got to watch out for. And I would say if you're looking to buy in an HOA community, go over those rules, fine tooth comb. Also, for example, I live in Gold River, and how it works is Gold River is one big HOA and there's little villages that are their own HOAs. Serrano's like that as well too. Find out which one is a little bit more restrictive. Find out which one, are tougher, because there's one, I think Empire over there is like everyone's chill, everyone's relaxed, no one does anything, it's just like a relaxed vibe. And there's some other villages where people are like, yeah, there's people going out there with their cell phones taking photos. So that's the stuff you should a little bit be concerned about when going into an HOA. Ask the neighbors and make sure you check the HOA rules and figure out which ones that if you get in there are pretty lame and you're going to have support changing them when you get in there. Boom. All right. Last question of the evening, and I'll let you guys go. This is not Sacramento. Loomis, which is 30 to 40 miles, almost 45 minutes drive from Sacramento. Just sharing so everyone is aware. Totally right. But this is Lincoln. That's how crazy it is. Bickford Ranch officially right now resides in Lincoln. It's in Loomis schools, which is bizarre, I know. But eventually Bickford Ranch is going to be its own thing. But I do appreciate this because you are totally spot on. And here's the hardest part. And this is one of the things this is one of the reasons why kind of the videos I do now and again will have like, oh, Sacramento this, Sacramento that. See, I kind of think about it this way. For us who live in Sacramento, we know where Lincoln is. We know where Loomis is. We know where Grant Bay is. We know where East Sacramento is. We know where all these spots are, right? And it's just easy. It's just like, yeah, I know where the pocket is. It's there. From someone coming in from like the Bay Area, from Los Angeles, they don't know where Elk Grove is a lot of times. They might, but they don't know where like Loomis is. They don't know where like a Lincoln is. They don't know all that stuff too. So what I normally see is that if people are looking in the Sacramento metro area, they'll see Sacramento as almost like, okay, it's got to be somewhat relatively close to Sacramento, 35, 40 minutes away, some kind of in the metro area. So I do that. But in the videos that I do, I definitely make sure to mention about the distance. And if any of these videos you guys really, really like and you want to go see them. One of the things that I tell people all the time is don't buy a house just based on a YouTube video. Don't buy a house based on an Instagram thing. Go out there, figure out how far the house is, traffic patterns, community, places to eat, places to shop. You need that first person experience to figure out if this is a place you want to live. It's a big purchase, guys, and a YouTube video is definitely not how you should be buying the house. It should be a little bit like YouTube video. Okay, that looked interesting. Let me call the realtor. Okay, I got some questions for you. Mark, is this Sacramento? you know what? It's 35 to 40 minutes away from Sacramento. Go over that spot. Well, what are you looking for specifically? Well, I want to be 25 minutes from Sacramento. Okay, maybe here's some spots I would look at. Maybe like Roseville, maybe Folsom. These are communities that might work for you as well too. That's the next step. And then if that works for you, come out and take a look at some homes. That's kind of how I would go about it. But I would say the YouTube videos are just a little bit about getting the lay of the land and to see if Sacramento is even something to be considered, is considered an area that you could find maybe what you're looking for there. All right. Boom. Is there anything being built new that's not an HOA? Oh, yeah. I'd say at least 20% of the communities are not in HOAs. I'm in Thomas Park, and if I forget to pull my truck in the driveway, I come out to take. Oh, okay. I thought my HOA was brutal. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, for new communities, yeah, about 20 to 30% of them aren't HOAs. I would say also, depending on where you want to move, Natomas is just HOA central. It just is. Elk Grove on the other side, I'd say like the 758. There's some HOAs, but not many. I say 624 Elk Grove. Same thing. I'd say if you get Sacramento proper, there's not a whole lot of HOAs over there as well too. Yeah, there's tons of areas. But Natomas, yeah, Natomas is littered with HOAs. The benefit though of those HOAs in Natomas is normally HOAs come with something in Natomas, like, you know, workout center, pool and everything too, which I really, really like. For me, I kid you not, my HOA is brutal. It's over $300 a month. I do not get a gate. I do not get a pool. I do not get tennis courts. I just don't really know what I get. But at the same time, just understand that some of the HOAs you get something and some of them you don't. And mine 631, there are a lot of communities here in the Sacramento area with no HOAs. Resale wise, absolutely. And new homes, I'd say at least 20 to 30% of them don't. So reach out and I'll let you know which ones they are and all that stuff. Now, if you guys enjoyed the live broadcast we did today, smash that like button. There is also a hype button right next to the live button. Hit that as well too. I'm gone for the night. I'm going to give you guys one last time to ask any questions before I'm gone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys spending the evening with me. If you guys have any questions or comments, put them below, not only for me to answer, but also for other viewers who've seen this video to maybe get some information from you, people who live in Sacramento. That's the real deal. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully the Zillow forecast didn't scare you off. Like I said, they change their forecast, you know, very frequently and everything too. And also you got to understand that the forecast is based on the national market and not Sacramento itself. So tune into this program every Wednesday at 7 p.m. to get the real news about our market, the Sacramento real estate market. Now, if you enjoyed this broadcast, please hit that like button and the hype button that lives right next to the like button as well too. It would mean a lot to me and the YouTube algorithm. Now, we are a real estate team in the area, so if you're looking to move into the area, if you have any questions, there's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about any questions you might have about the area, pros and cons, communities, and plan an amazing tour for you when you come out here to visit. Now, if you're looking to sell your home, guys, honestly, there's not a team in the area that markets like we do. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Your house will have more eyeballs on it than any other property in the area. Guys, we don't just market, we don't just list, we basically sell your home. We'd love to work with you, so reach out to our team. We can talk a little bit about the marketing that we do, the analytics behind what we do, and how it sells homes. Now, one last thing before I go, there's a playlist over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Hit that link, hit that playlist right over there, and you're going to see some amazing videos to get you in the know of the Sacramento area. Education is power, guys, and those videos are definitely that. All right, guys, this is Mark. Until the next video, have a good one.